Good day, Doctor. My name is Erica Anthony and my metric number is 298403. So for my part, I'll be talking about China's strategic use of trade policy tools and how they have influenced both its economy and global trade. So China's rise in the world of economy has been strongly supported by its use of tariffs, subsidies, import quotas and also non-tariff barriers. So these tools not only protect China's domestic industries but also give it leverage in international trade. Starting off with tariffs. So basically tariffs are taxes on imported goods. China uses tariffs to protect local industries and to respond during trade conflicts. A recent example is in 2025 when China imposed up to 75% anti-dumping tariffs on plastic imports from the US, EU, Japan and Taiwan. This forced global companies to rethink their supply chains and shift to alternative markets or pricing strategies. Next, we have subsidies. The Chinese government provides financial support to key sectors like technology, steel, and agriculture. In 2022, China gave around $6 billion in subsidies to grain farmers. While this helps domestic producers to lower their prices, it also sparks global criticism for creating unfair competition. Then we have import quotas, which limits the amount of certain goods entering China. This helps secure food supplies and protect local farmers. For instance, China sets quotas on key crops like rice and wheat with extra taxes of up to 65% if limits are exceeded. However, these restrictions often lead to trade tensions with exporting countries. Lastly, we have non-tariff barriers, which also plays a big part of China's trade strategy. This includes strict custom rules, licensing delays, and also complex quality checks. During the US-China trade war, non-tariff barriers were responsible for about half of the drop in US exports to China. They often protect state-owned firms but make it difficult for foreign businesses to compete fairly. And because of all of this, multinational companies are being forced to adapt. They are redesigning supply chains, shifting production to other countries, and also investing in risk planning to handle sudden changes like new tariffs or non-tariff barriers. One example was in 2025 when US firms rushed shipments from China during a temporary tariff ceasefire, highlighting the urge of managing trade risks. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurin Aziha and my metric number is 300768. Now I will be presenting section 2, which focuses on foreign direct investment policies in China, specifically the regulation, restriction and incentive that impact multinational companies or MNCs. To begin, China is the second largest economy in the world and its FDI policies reflect a balance between openness and national security. One of the main tools used is the negative list, which outlines the sectors where foreign investment is either restricted or prohibited. Over the year, this list has been reduced from 117 sectors down to 106, showing efforts to ease market entry. Industries like manufacturing, telecommunication, education, and healthcare have opened up, while sensitive areas like media and defense still remain highly controlled. Secondly, FDI projects in China go through application reviews, especially if they involve key industries like technology or infrastructure. Under the Foreign Investment Law (FIL) passed in 2020, both foreign and local investors are treated equally. However, national security checks can delay or stop certain projects. In addition, companies must comply with updated rules or intellectual property and technology sharing. Though many still worry about how well these protections are enforced. Next, China offers a wide range of incentives to attract high-quality foreign investment. Under the 2025 Action Plan, the government introduced 20 new measures like expanding free trade area zone, lowering corporate tax rate, and supporting sectors such as biotechnology, green energy, and advanced manufacturing. These zones also make it easier for businesses to operate with more ownership control and fewer barriers. Moreover, because of these reforms, many MNCs now prefer to set up their own operations rather than forming joint ventures, especially in new liberalized sectors. This gives them better control over their intellectual property and operations. However, in restricted areas, joint ventures are still necessary and choosing the right local partners is key. Lastly, China is strategically channeling FDI into high-tech and green sectors for long-term development. For example, foreign companies can now fully own telecom services and hospitals in free trade zones, highlighting China's push towards innovation, sustainability, and openness. Despite a recent 27% drop in FDI and ongoing political challenges, China remains committed to attracting investment through careful policy adjustment. So in conclusion, China's 2025 FDI strategy shows a clear intention to remain open for business while still protecting national interests. Multinational firms must stay informed and flexible to take advantage of these evolving opportunities while complying with local rules and regulations.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Position. This number is 9. So for my part, I will talk about industrial policy and protectionist policy used by the Chinese government to support local industry and how this affects foreign companies. First, China's industrial policy is a strategy where the government chooses important local industry like healthcare, technology and services and give them strong support to grow and compete globally. One example is the China Development Forum, which is CDF, where the government talked about increasing domestic spending by raising household income, growing service sectors like elderly care and tourism, and giving better social security. The goal is to make people spend more, which helps local businesses grow faster. Also, China supports first-time buyers through cash support, tax cuts, and easy loans. For the silver economy, which means services for the elderly, they invest in things like care centers. These efforts are part of the industrial policy to boost the service sector and increase China's economic power. Next, China uses protectionist policy to protect local firms from foreign competitions. This includes giving tax breaks, subsidies, and advantages only to local firms, but too much protection can also limit China's own growth. That's why the government now tries to create a fair market by updating anti-monopoly laws and improving infrastructure to connect different regions in China better. Besides that, China's industrial development plans like Made in China 2025 are made to reduce dependence on foreign technology. This plan supports local industries such as AI, robotics, and green energy through R&D funding and policy support. For example, Xiaomi invested 200 billion yuan to develop electric cars and chips. While this helps local companies grow fast, it also brings challenges for foreign firms because they don't get the same support. So in conclusion, industrial and protectionist policies give local companies many advantages. This creates an uneven playing field where foreign firms may struggle, especially in the service or technology sectors. So foreign companies that want to enter China must understand this policy well and plan carefully to succeed in the long term. So thank you. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
In China, advertising laws are very strict. Companies are not allowed to use exaggerated phrases like the best, number one, or most effective. This is because these kinds of phrases are considered misleading unless there is proof. However, companies are allowed to use strong claims only if they are comparing products within their own brand. For example, our best-selling product. Or they talk about their goals or values such as we aim to be the best. Or they refer to official awards or certifications and have proof. Additionally, any advertisement for medicine, medical devices, or health products must be approved by the Chinese government and they need to follow strict rules to protect public health. In China, labeling and packaging rules are very strict to protect consumer safety. For example, all labels must be written in Chinese and packaging must be non-toxic and recyclable. This helps Chinese consumers clearly understand what they are buying and prevents confusion. Next, in China, online shopping is extremely popular. Companies that want to succeed in China should use digital platforms to attract customers and build brand awareness. Unlike other countries, Western social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are blocked in China. Instead, Chinese consumers use local platforms such as WeChat, Weibo, and Douyin.